In today's video, I had the opportunity to go head-to-head against former world number 33, Jenson Brooksby, who's been out for over 2 years before making a comeback this season and making the third round of Indian Wells, where he recently lost to Jack Draper. Now, I got the chance to put my skills to the test against him and to pick his brain about all things tennis, so let's jump in and see how I got on. So in preparation for this tiebreak, of course, we had to get a good match warm-up in. We hit up and down the middle just for 5 to 10 minutes to kind of get warm. Jenson has a crazy backhand technique, which I just couldn't kind of visually get used to. It's very unlike all of the other players. That's not to say it's less effective. It was definitely very effective when we played points later on. It was great to play with Jenson and see his ball quality, his consistency. Of course, it's not in a match, so I'm never going to get that true feeling, but it was pretty close to kind of how he would practice, and that's a good indicator of the ball striking, the ball quality, and I was excited to see what I could do against him in some points. Now today was very windy. It was a bit of a crosswind kind of coming from left to right, meaning that the balls were kind of travelling more onto my forehand side on this end of the court, and you kind of had to account for that a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But usually in the desert it can get pretty windy. We then jumped into some volleys, because I think part of my strategy against some of these pros is going to be to come forward to the net. It's where I feel comfortable and I think I can kind of have the advantage. Jenson then took a few volleys, and his backhand technique on the volley is crazy different to what I'm used to, but hey, it's effective, it gets the job done, and he actually had some pretty solid volleys. Also guys, if you want to see more behind the scenes content, then go and add my Snapchat. I'm also going to be giving away one of the CX rackets I've been playing with for 4 years on there exclusively on Snapchat. So go and add me to see lots of behind the scenes stuff and cool stuff that I get up to on a day-to-day basis. And also go follow my Instagram for some short form content. We then warmed up some serves, doing some basic stuff.
Nearly hit the drone.
I'm not going to hit the big.
Jenson's accuracy on the serve and the consistent pinpoint accuracy was kind of my biggest indicator that you can tell that he's at a high level. Pros can really kind of hit their spots very consistently, very accurately. Not necessarily with loads of power, he's not a big server, but if you're able to really hit the spots, you can do a lot of damage with a decently fast serve. And on my serve, of course, really trying to warm it up so I can kind of get the RPMs in, really put him under some pressure straight away, get quite a few free points.
This guy has the craziest backhand technique of all time, even on the volley. Nearly hit you. Saved you there.
So, what's your ranking right now in the world?
It's a protected at 52. But
52.
Yeah.
So you had a little bit of time off.
Yeah, I was a couple years out until January. I started playing tournaments again.
So what's that like when you're coming back to tournaments? Obviously your level's like very, very high. Coming back, do you put a lot of pressure on yourself to like kind of be at the same results, or are you giving yourself like a bit of time to kind of come back?
More leeway for sure. I think it depends on how much time you've missed injury. Like if it's a shorter duration, then you're not as used to it. But I went months without hitting any balls, and it's a long period, so I definitely gave myself some grace. It's going to take some time to get back into it, and it's easy for me to be hard on myself. So I think I've done a pretty good job so far of not letting that be the case. But there's always a little bit in the back of your mind, like you know what you can do. You know?
My coach told me the other day when I was practicing that he saw you eating a burger during a match. Is that true?
No, it wasn't a burger. So it was an English muffin with peanut butter and honey in there.
Is that just carbs, like just during the match?
It's just carbs. It's just carbs to keep you going. I've seen that though. I've seen the people like thinking I was eating a burger. That was hilarious.
I mean, he told me, I didn't see any clips of it, but I just thought I'd ask you because that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
I might try that, to be honest. I might try that when next match.
Hey, I get some energy from it, yeah.
I saw Serena like ordering like an espresso once or something crazy, so I'd love to know like just what the craziest thing asked for in a match would be. Like, it's got to be something crazy.
I mean, I haven't done it really personally. I mean, I guess you could say coffee, but I feel like I've seen some people do that.
I reckon someone should ask for something crazy just for viral content at some point.
Yeah, they'd make it on tennis TV.
Kyrgios has got to ask for like a pizza or something.
Yeah, he could. You could ask for a pizza, like see if they have it in the cafeteria, yeah.
Right guys, tiebreak to 10. It's going to be fun. Going to go into his backhand, be aggressive, and try and attack on the serve. Those are my 3 things.
Start with a 10-point breaker here. Let's see if I can break down his backhand. Let's see. Let's have a good breaker. Yep, nice.
Let's push him. See how much he's willing to play. Keep it simple. Yeah, nice. I've got to be the one on the front foot. Forehand return is a banker. He's breathing a little bit, I like that. Yeah, nice. Thanks. If you could play with any player, doubles, let's say Wimbledon, if you could choose any player that's ever played tennis, who would you choose?
I mean, that's a tough one for sure, but I think I'd have to go Nadal, because I always loved him growing up. He was my favorite player, so I think I have to say.
Is he still your favorite player?
Yeah, I mean, he's retired, obviously, but still, I still think, I always admired like the big 3 as a whole, and any of those guys at the top and what they were able to do, but he was always my personal favorite. Yeah.
And if you could choose one player to play a match to save your life's on the line, you've got to choose one player, let's say on hard court.
On hard court.
Who are you choosing?
It's got to be Novak.
Novak. Okay,
yeah.
that's like
on a hard
let's
court.
say you can't choose any of the big 4. Murray, Novak, Rafael, Fed. Who are you choosing?
On a hard court?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to choose them like when they're in their prime? Or no?
On a random day. It could be a terrible day. It could be a great day.
Oh man. So outside of the big 4, you said, with Murray.
Yeah. But on one day, random day in their career.
Okay.
They're playing a match for life. They could have woken up. They could be hungover, but they've got to play.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if Sampras is a legal answer, I don't know if you're going great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think him, because his serve placement's amazing, and he's going to at least get you in that really close set, if not get the job done, I think.
Big 1-2s. That's all we've got to do. Just don't give him a chance to rally. So bad. Stick with the cross. last question. Who's the toughest opponent you've ever faced, and then why?
Wow, that's tough. I've played some of the top guys for sure in the world, but
It could also be when you were younger as well, like just on that given day.
On that
who's
given
the
day.
toughest?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Because he's such a physical player, hits such a heavy ball. It's really hard to expose, any weaknesses. He's very physical, and if you feel like you can't really dictate the point against him or get in much of a rhythm, and he just kind of takes the game away from me. At least that's what I felt when I played him. I think it was 3 years ago now.
Where did you play against him?
It was US Open.
US Open, because Jack said the same answer, Alcaraz, but I knew him well when he played against him.
Yeah.
I think one of the things like with Alcaraz, and when you watch Sinner as well, like I feel, obviously I'm not at your level, but what I can kind of see is like they just take so much time away. It's like they hit so big, but they also, like Sinner especially, moves like into the court so much. What was the feeling like playing against him? Did you have that feeling, or was it more just obviously because you like move better and like see the ball better than most people? So like,
yeah,
is it
at times, but I still feel like I'm able to get in more rhythms of a rally and potentially dictate plays I want to do.
Yeah.
Like still compared to the average player, obviously, it's difficult against him. But
I was just curious,
comparing
like,
him and Alcaraz,
Yeah. So and between
less.
the two of them, when's all said and done, who do you reckon's gonna have a better career, Alcaraz or Sinner?
I think Sinner.
Okay.
I think Sinner will,
Fair
because
enough.
I think he's just a little more all-rounded. I mean, Alcaraz has more talent, I would say, but I think Sinner also has a little more potential to get injured less.
Yeah.
I think he's just a little more rock solid in a game as a whole.
Yeah, fair enough. Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
That was fun.
That was fun. Sweating.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Jenson's definitely got one of the most interesting backhand techniques out there, but he makes it work, and that's what tennis is about. Everyone having a different style and a different way of playing the game, but fundamentally being able to win out there on the court at the highest level is what makes these pro guys so good at what they do. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.